Sup guys, here for some more review action is Blitzing Wrath with special guest, not Dakota, but...
Zach.
He's, well...
cool.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so, we're reviewing kind of an old game, Singularity, and I have a little thing to talk to you about this before we start. A couple days ago I went and I rented Singularity and the Prince of Persia Forgotten Sands. And Singularity is actually very good. Prince of Persia is so bad that I actually don't want to review it, because I don't want to play it anymore to get gameplay shots. So any of you thinking about buying Prince of Persia, don't buy it, rent it if you're desperate, but it sucks, which is hard for me to say, because Prince of Persia Sands of Time is probably my all-time favorite game. So, thanks a lot, Ubisoft, you screwed me over. But, I got surprised.
Assassin's Creed 2 was good.
Yeah. Anyway, I was surprised to know that Singularity was actually very good, and I say it's much better than what IGN and Game Trailers get it. But enough babbling, let's take a look at the presentation and gameplay. So, Singularity's story is a little bit complicated. It's all about time travel going between 1955 and present day of 2010. It takes place on the Russian island called Katorga 12, which was an obscure name, and the game looks pretty good, I guess, but textures are really blurry and they pop in a lot, and the game has been in development for a while, and it looks like, well, it looks like that. It looks like it's been in development for a long time, and the development team just kind of stopped with the graphics.
What time frame are we in here, Isaac?
This right here is present day of 2010.
2010.
But as you see right here, explosion, that's going to change. And now we're going to look a bit more at gameplay. So, Singularity is a first-person shooter. Surprising, I know. And the controls are very simple. If you've played Call of Duty, Halo, you know what to expect. Right trigger to shoot, left trigger to aim, X to pick up, blah 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 blah. We're not here to talk about controls. The gameplay is solid, definitely. The gunplay works, but I'm really disappointed with the armament selection. You have one pistol, one shotgun, one machine gun, one assault rifle, one sniper rifle, and a very kick-ass weapon called the Seeker, which uses the E99 technology found on Katorga 12 to actually allow you to curve and aim bullets while in mid-flight, which I thought was awesome. But it's so powerful it actually never becomes permanent in your sort of repertoire. And on that note, you can carry two weapons at once, but there's weapon stations that you can swap out and upgrade, because apparently every FPS now needs to have an upgrade station. Which brings me to the fact that even though Singularity is good, don't get me wrong, it seems to rip off a lot of other games. For example, later in the game you get enhancement to the TMD, Time Manipulation Device, which allows you to pick up and throw objects using gravity. Half-Life 2. And also, it definitely rips off a little bit of Bioshock's atmosphere, definitely, with the flashbacks. But what is cool is you can interact with pretty much every object. You see, actually just turned on the typewriter, turned on the phone, but of course that's really useless. It's also got a lot of the looting atmosphere. You're always on the hunt for resources and ammo, and it's got Russian voice actors, which I'm sure were in Metro 2033, which I also played, and was also kick-ass, but I don't have it to do a review for. And this is kind of shameful. My review for Singularity has just turned into a review of Half-Life, Bioshock, and Metro 2033, which
don't forget Fallout 3.
Yeah, I was hoping I could stay away from that, Zach, but you brought it into this. This game has obviously been doing it with Fallout 3 when it comes to the atmosphere.
Wow,
yes, I just went there. But even though the gameplay is straight out of generic shooter, the story is anything but. And I have to say, I played through the game 3 times, I got all 3 endings, and it is some of the coolest endings ever. And so you should definitely pick up the game just to see the ending. But of course, it's a solid FPS. You really can't go wrong with it. There's no glaring issues, although there is one particular issue that I have, and this may be a little petty, but throughout the game there's this lightning effect, not the one you saw there, but there's actually a lightning effect that when lightning goes off, even if you're indoors and not looking at it, temporarily blinds you. And that was really annoying, especially in the middle of a firefight on hard with no health, no medkits, and you get blinded by lightning, so that was shitty. But I mean, all in all, it's a good game. You really can't go wrong. I see no reason to at least rent it. It's not a very long game. I've had it for a couple days and I've already cleared it. And now we're going to look at multiplayer. Alright, so on to the multiplayer. The multiplayer feels a little tacked on, but it's really not that bad, and you should definitely give it a try. There's two sides. There's the creatures, seen in the main game, and soldiers. The soldiers all have different TMD abilities, such as healing, impulsing, phase walking, and teleporting. And the creatures all have very significant and different abilities. For example, the Zek here, which sounds like Zach, which is probably why he's playing it, has the ability to pick up barrels, throw them, and phase walk, which is very cool. There's other creatures, such as the Ticks, which can actually take over the opponent's bodies, which is also pretty awesome. And then there's the Radion, which is huge defensive, but very good for sort of protecting control points. Playing as the creatures is really fun, and you will probably be good at it if you've played any Left 4 Dead, because they do handle very similarly. The creatures are played from a third-person perspective, however, as the soldiers are still played in first-person. There's only 2 modes in the multiplayer, and not very many maps, and quite frankly, I can't tell one map from an X, because once you've seen one bombed-out research facility, I'm pretty sure you've seen them all. But really, the multiplayer isn't bad, and it's really easy to pick up and play. Just a couple minutes with it and you'll get the basics, and it's really fun. It's also balanced very, very well. No creature ever feels overpowered, although there is a couple abilities such as shield, which seem really cheap. Not only can you move and take no damage, but you also reflect all damage, and it's kind of cheap, I'm not going to lie. But really, through all this rambling, what I'm trying to say is Singularity is really good. It's a bit generic and a little run-of-the-mill, but really, it's not half bad. If you have an extra 20 bucks kicking around, go out for a rent, or if you have a little bit more cash, maybe buy it. On the note of multiplayer, as you saw there, connection loss, that is a huge issue. Most matches, unfortunately, are unplayable until that gets patched. However, other than a little laggy multiplayer and slightly generic gameplay, Singularity is a really good game, and I urge everybody to at least rent it. Thanks for watching. This is Blitzing signing off, and
this is Zach.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my YouTube channel, Blitzing and yeah, we're making more vids. Thanks for watching.